Hey guys, welcome to the Anime Podcast. On this episode, we'll be talking about my personal favorite anime, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Joining us today, we have a ton of bacon.
Hey guys, a ton of bacon here. My stand is called Manime TV.
We have Random Dude Man.
Okay. Apparently, some guy knows me. Apparently, so I can be happy about that. Probably no one here knows me though. TBH.
Yeah, you're like that.
SMH.
You're like the invisible introvert that nobody knows.
So how'd this guy get in the podcast? Who's he?
I have no idea.
Oh,
he must have brainwashed us with his stand.
how dare you?
Oh, don't spoil that.
How dare you?
Oh my god.
And we also have Faux Wizard.
Am I supposed to come up with a stand here? Is that what we're doing?
You don't have to.
You could breathe
but
deeply and get your hormone going.
Maybe I can just be like one of those 99% of people who just don't have a stand.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
You probably won't have any idea what we're talking about then, unless you're a Speedwagon Foundation member. But
yeah.
So, and I'm SmurfRockRune. I'm kind of a big JoJo fan.
Really?
I don't know if anyone knows that. So before we get started, I want to put a little warning here. We will be going over spoilers in this episode. We'll be covering spoilers from the beginning of the series up to the end of part 3, which is on Mal. It's listed as Stardust Crusaders 2nd season. So if you haven't seen all of that, probably don't listen to this because you will get spoiled. So I guess with with losing all the people who don't watch the show and probably should.
Yeah, everyone's oh, man. I don't think anyone would be listening to this from the start. Because JoJo, no, I'm not going to watch that.
Well,
yeah.
We'll see what happens. It's nice to have the warning anyway.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll go right into this. And we can start from the beginning of our JoJo experiences. How did you guys discover or even find out about JoJo? Bacon, you want to go first? I guess not.
Bacon? Okay. I mean, is he dead?
This must be the work of an enemy stander.
Hello?
Kind of died there.
You guys hear me?
I got worried.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello?
Is everything okay?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Internet. There's an enemy stando destroying my internet, I swear. Okay. So, how I discovered JoJo, actually before I did a contract with SmurfRockRune here, years before when I think part 3 was airing, I had someone at work who's just like, you watch anime? You should watch JoJo. And I'm like, oh, I heard of it. I'll get to it eventually. And then all of a sudden I'm watching Girls Who Panzer at home and all my other rewatches. I didn't watch JoJo. I watched the first 6 episodes of part 1 3 years ago and stopped. And not that I didn't like it. I just stopped watching, I was busy. Then, I ended up meeting Smurf here, and then he says, let's do a contract. I'll grant your favorite wish, and you have to watch JoJo. And I'm like, okay, sure, I'll watch JoJo if you watch Girls in Panzer. Okay, deal. And I end up falling in love with JoJo like crazy. Once I hit, after, part 1 and after that. So me, I'm just as hyped up as anyone else is for the upcoming JoJo's. So it's all your fault, Smurf.
It is all my fault, and I don't regret a thing. But I feel like the contract worked out pretty well because I also like Girls in Panzer, and you got to watch the greatest anime ever made. So I guess we'll move on to the. I guess move on to the next person.
Whoa, you're claiming that Girls in Panzer is not the greatest anime ever made?
I am.
Okay.
TBH, man. What's the appeal?
This is
just tags.
We'll save that for another
tags
episode.
Pretty great.
Another episode.
So I guess we'll move on to Dude Man. How did you discover JoJo?
Okay. So picture this: exam season. I needed to procrastinate. I look on my Mal for a long-running series that I can kind of watch, and avoid the stress of real life. And lo and behold, I had 3 seasons of JoJo. I was like, this could work. I mean, might as well do it. I mean, I learned about JoJo through the sub and in general because it was such a high-rated series, and I usually put those types of series on my MAL, at least on a plan to watch type of thing.
Right.
Excuse me. So I decided to check it out. I mean, I'm fine with most genres, so it wasn't really a problem. I really got into it, and I binge watched it. It was an intense experience. I loved every second of it. If only I could rewatch it again for the first time.
I know what you mean. That feeling like you just want to feel like, oh, this is the most best thing ever, and experience that all over again without actually ignoring it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not the best thing ever for me, but this is up there.
Question: did you do well on your exams afterwards?
No, I did not. But that's okay. That's life in engineering. You fail and you pass.
I think you got the better end of the deal. You watched JoJo. I mean, I think that's worth
it's like
it.
he's sitting. It's like he's sitting his engineering exam, and it's like, explain why this bridge is not stable, and it's just like enemy stand.
Dark Platinum just aura the support out of just aura the crap out of all the support beams, and it doesn't work anymore. I don't know.
He just writes in that sound effect, menacing, menacing everywhere, all over his paper. I bet that's how he felt with his exam when it was placed in front of him. He sees the purple letters surrounding it. He's like, "Oh God." Oh.
Okay, I'll actually admit sometimes when I'm walking around, I'll like imagine the fucking
dude. Same. I do that whenever I'm scared.
It's great, man. I love those effects.
I just want to get like cardboard cutouts of like 100 of those and just put those all around my house. Like put them on like my door, so when I get out of my door, my brother sees me in the morning. I'll just stand there. Because my brother's watching JoJo
standing
too.
There,
yeah,
menacingly,
menacingly breathing.
Oh my god,
that's amazing.
Fuck.
No, don't worry about it.
Sorry.
So, Faux, how did you discover JoJo?
Oh well, if I recall correctly, I was once reading something, just some explanation for some anime, and someone links a relevant article, and I opened it, but there is no article, only Dio. And I'm like, this is a spicy meme. What am I saying? I'm like, this is a spicy meme, and so eventually I check it out. I watched the Dio anime, and I'm not disappointed.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Memes make the world go round, guys.
JoJo's got some solid memes, TBH.
The anime has some solid memes, and the manga has so many more to come. I'm pretty excited.
There are actually so many memes that are coming from part 4. I'm like, okay, I need to know these memes. It's driving me nuts.
The beautiful Dwayne Bacon.
Yeah, okay, quit saying that. Every time I read that, I'm like, what is that? Is it a penis?
Don't worry, Bacon.
Sounds like penis.
Don't worry, Bacon.
Don't
worry, Bacon. I feel you very deeply.
Is your stand feeling me right now? Because I feel very uncomfortable now.
I got a feeling so complicated, guys. I feel like we should move on. All right, so the way I discovered JoJo is back when I first started watching anime.
Right.
I watched some shows, like some mainstream shows that most people watch, like Attack on Titan and Sword Art Online and all that. I noticed on Facebook, one of my friends from high school, it was his birthday. So I messaged him, and I knew that he watched anime, so then I told him, I was like, hey, I started watching anime. And he started throwing me a bunch of recommendations. And one day he texted me, and he told me, like, dude, you should watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And I was like, I don't know what that is. The only thing I knew about it was the Dio meme. And I was like, there's some blonde guy named Dio. He's in hell because that has the red background. So
He's in hell.
I thought they were like in hell, like fighting in hell, and I was like, that's pretty cool.
Dude, that'd be better. Holy crap!
But so he tells me, he's like, you should watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and I was like, I'm not really so sure. Like the name sounds kind of weird, bizarre, but weird. Oh. And then he's like, no, you gotta watch it. So he just sent me the YouTube clip of the grenade scene from part 2 with Joseph versus Straits.
Oh yeah.
And he just sent me that. I watched it. I was like, that's freaking amazing. He told me it's like
yeah.
that is part 2. That's every fight in part 2. It's just like that. I was like, all right, I'm gonna watch this. So I started watching it and I wasn't hooked on it immediately. Like I liked part 1. It was entertaining, but I didn't love it. So I was alternating between JoJo and Nichijou, which is a weird combination. So I was
They
alternating.
both have Joe.
Yeah, I was watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
I'd watch that.
Dumb. I'm sorry.
No, I got
so
you, man. I'd watch
I watched
that.
like an episode of JoJo, and then Nichijou, and then JoJo, and then Nichijou, and that went on until I hit part 2, and then I watched all of JoJo, and then I went back to watch my Nichijou.
That's
like
cool.
the
That's
alternating
awesome.
did not last very long once I hit part 2,
So
and I just binged the whole thing, and then I just read all the manga, and now I'm rewatching it in my rewatch that ends today as of release. And so it's a good time. JoJo's a good series.
It's
It's easy to get hooked
good
on.
good series, he says.
Good.
yo, the fucking to be continued at the end of every single episode. Oh god, it makes me want to see the next episode.
Oh yeah.
I hate it. It ends on a cliffhanger every single time. Why?
The transitions at the end when they do the ending theme in part 1.
Yeah,
The
the
song.
transitions into Roundabout
Yeah.
in a lot of episodes. Like especially my personal favorite is episode 6
Yes.
when Zeppeli's like
Oh yeah.
realizing that the prophecy says he's gonna die.
Like, this is it.
And there's just like an epic transition into Roundabout, and it's rewatching that a couple months ago, like rewatching that episode. I actually like got chills at that transition, even
Yeah,
after all this time.
It's great. Fantastic.
So, I have a question for you guys. What are your favorite parts of JoJo? Like
Oh,
1, 2, or 3?
There's too many.
Well,
man.
there's 3.
3 that we can talk about.
3 that we can talk about. You're right.
Oh, favorite part.
so-
I thought you meant favorite. Okay, sorry. I was getting ahead
Yeah,
of
like
myself.
part, like capital P part, not
Oh, okay.
lowercase p part.
Yeah.
So Faux, I'll start with you this time.
Oh, me?
What part of the anime did you like the most?
Probably by far part 2.
Part 2, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
No reason not to. I mean, Joseph, best JoJo in the anime so
Joseph
far.
is the
Really?
best animated JoJo. I'll agree with that.
Yeah, best animated JoJo. Yeah, it was just the most fun to watch. Part 3 was a little drawn out. Part 1 was still alright. You know.
I think a lot of people
Still-
would agree that
still
part
not as
1
good as part
isn't the best. But I think like part 2 was like the most addicting because like you can't go wrong with Joseph.
Right. Yeah, I think part 2 is definitely the hook for a lot of people.
Yeah.
You have a
That's-
really entertaining main character who's always outsmarting his opponents. It has a nice, concise plot. It doesn't really stray too far from it at any point or feel too long. So it's got good comedy and fun characters. So yeah, I think part 2 is definitely a fan favorite.
Yeah.
Do either of you,
that's pretty much it.
Bacon or
Oh.
Dude Man, do you have a different answer?
Okay. I feel weird for saying this because you guys just said part 1's kind of boring, but I actually was a big fan of part 1. I mean, that's why I got really into the series because it felt very brisk with its pacing, right? So that I felt like a lot got done in each episode, and it wasn't like going, okay, they're kind of still in the same, like point.
Like there
Ish,
wasn't like a training
right?
arc that took like 2 or 3 episodes. You know.
There was a
Yeah,
training
no,
arc
it
that
was-
took like
it
half
was-
an episode.
Yeah, well, that's all
It
you
was
need.
just bang, 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 bang. Like, any time skip that happened was just, like, instant, right? In the first, like, 2 episodes, I think, they went from kids to teenagers to the finishing the conflict or something like that.
Yeah.
The first conflict, at least. And I was like, oh my god, this is so fast-paced. This is so interesting. Like, stuff's actually happening. It's not like that fucking One Piece show that lasts forever. Oh my god. Hate that. Yo, I actually like watch parts of One Piece and Naruto on like the 4Kids dub or whatever.
Believe it.
So
same.
So I've been burned by shonens before, so I was worried JoJo was going to be the same, but I was glad to see it wasn't.
Yeah, you mentioned that part 1 did have some really like fast pacing and feel like it covered a lot. That's the part 1 manga is only 45 chapters long, or somewhere around there, 44 or 45, something like that. So they actually did like 9 chapters, or not 9. They did like 5 chapters an episode, which is pretty fast. I think most shows do like 2 or 3.
Okay.
But JoJo tends to do like 5-ish, or at least at the beginning. I know once they start to get into like part 3, they do like 3 chapters an episode or something.
Yeah, and now it's like, its whole fights take up like multiple chapters.
Yeah.
So it can feel like even though the fights are interesting by themselves, it still feels maybe a bit more drawn out compared to like previous parts, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
So I guess I just preferred the speed. I still like the other parts though, definitely. Yeah. I just really like the OG JoJo.
Jonathan is I'm not a fan of Jonathan, actually.
He is a gentleman.
Okay.
I don't like how his personality is good guy. Like Joseph's like a trickster and he's sarcastic a lot. Jotaro's just like a stoic badass.
Well, the thing is, like, with Dio being new, like, you kind of need, because Dio was so evil in part 1, you kind of had to have that with Jonathan, you know? He had to be all good. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I the reason for it makes perfect sense to me. I just don't find his character interesting.
I mean, that's fair. I still like how his goodness sort of passed on to his descendants, and they still have like a good moral upbringing for the most part.
It's pretty cool. Bacon, what was your favorite part?
Oh man, it's cool that how most of us are different, because I like part 3 the most.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm also part 3.
Yay, part 3 wins this round. For me, it's because the whole concept of stands was really cool, and the thing I thought right away was, okay, now they're gonna train hard to make their stands stronger, but that's not the case, because your stand is like, I feel like it's not really fully explained of what a stand actually is, but we still go with it, and I enjoyed it. I thought of part 3 with all the stand fights, I thought of it as like Pokemon. The reason for that is because every episode or part was kind of like, we're going to learn about a new stand, or like in Pokemon, we're going to learn about a new Pokemon. You're going to learn about all its strengths and weaknesses, and you're going to see how to properly take it down with your own stand or Pokemon. And it was cool because it's not like each character... What was that?
What?
Going on?
No.
It's not like each...
No one said anything.
Okay, I thought I heard
Continue.
something. Sorry.
You're going
Continue,
crazy,
Bacon.
Sorry. With each stand, it was kind of like they were all had to use their own wits on how to make use of their own power in order to defeat another power. It's not like each of them unlocked a new power every episode. Like, wait, not only can I punch real fast, I can even punch, through the walls. It wasn't anything like that. You had to kind of get clever with each episode, which was cool. Which is why I like part 3 the most.
Right, you mentioned
and Jotaro, man, like amazing.
Yeah, I love Jotaro. You mentioned that they didn't really explain what stands are. Stands, they mentioned it really briefly in the first episode of part 3. Stands are a manifestation of your willpower.
Yeah. So if you got hurt or died, it's of course gonna die. But you can't really make your stand stronger.
Well, it's just a matter of how much will you have. Like, so like your stand is always gonna be, and some stands will get more powerful as the show goes on. Like, that's part of that. There's that potential stat that stands have. Right,
yeah, I forgot about that.
Like Star Platinum has pretty high potential, and that's because he learned time stop at the end.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't really. I feel like he had it from the beginning. He just didn't know about it. But
yeah.
So like he gets that, or I don't have any other anime examples. There's other examples in the manga of stands learning other powers.
Yeah.
But
I think the only thing the stands do in the anime is get weaker.
They get weaker.
Yeah, like just look at Kakyoin and Polnareff.
Oh, okay, that's what you're saying.
Fine.
Yeah, about how they kind of had abilities that they didn't have later.
Yeah.
My personal theory on that is that the Flesh Bud actually enhances their stand powers.
Maybe. I mean, with Dio, you can do anything. TBH.
Right.
Power of Dio compels you.
Well,
say
it's
that
like,
now.
yeah, that's a good one because Dio means God in Italian,
Oh,
so
yeah,
it even fits. But yeah, I've always felt like the Flesh Bud gave them extra powers, or just maybe gave the illusion of extra powers, like with
Maybe.
Kakyoin's paintbrush. Like
I
I always
always
felt like
assumed it was just because Dio understood their stands better, and so when he was controlling them, he knew how to use them.
maybe
That's
that's kind of weird.
That's a cool way to think about it, actually. It's just like
Because
further
he
explains
seemed to
Dio's power.
understand Kakyoin and Polnareff pretty well, like better than they understood themselves.
That implies the flesh blood has like its own consciousness and it can actively like direct things separately from Dio.
That's true.
Like I don't know. That's a bit of a stretch. I think it's more likely like their brain knows about the full potential and they're just not using it. And the flesh blood just like jacks itself into the parts of the brain where it tells you, okay, here's like a manual to how to use your stand.
Yeah.
And it just gives it to
That'd
the
be cool.
user.
Yeah, I always
so they can do
I always
whatever.
thought of it as the Flesh Bud kind of, it gets into their brain, it messes with their brain so that they're like I can't think of the word. I hate when this happens. So they're just directed
Sound
towards
it
like one
out.
goal.
Oh.
Sounding out doesn't help a
Okay.
word if I don't know what the word is. So it's like they're just directed towards one goal. It messes with their like logic or whatever. And then since they're so focused on one goal, it's like almost like their will towards accomplishing that goal is like enhanced.
Oh, that sounds
Oh,
cool.
okay.
So that enhances
makes
their
sense.
stand a little bit. And then when they go back to
Okay.
normal, they just go back to what they can normally use. So like
They
Kakyoin
just-
doesn't have his paintbrush ability, which I don't. And then, well, I wouldn't say it's an ability in itself because I feel like he just cut Jotaro, but at the same time he had Hierophant Green cut Jotaro. Just the viewer just didn't see it.
I'll be honest. Let's be honest here. It's Araki just like forgetting.
Right, but I have to
You have to
I have to
justify.
justify it.
Defend
Otherwise
him,
people
please.
Otherwise people just go, yeah, JoJo's full of inconsistencies, which it kind of is. Like the like the coffin.
Oh yeah, true. Oh my god, that's even worse.
But I don't know.
I mean,
It's
okay,
fun.
the cut of the paintbrush though, that was pretty, fancy from Kakyoin just to like time it so that Hierophant Green like slashes at the same time. I never realized he would be so much of a I don't know, like a diva, I guess. Like, just have to get it right.
Now the funny thing
What
to
if
think
he-
about is how long Kakyoin stood there painting a picture of Jotaro.
That's true.
That's right. I was thinking to myself like,
Yo, what if Jotaro took a different route that day and he just stood there waiting for him to pass? And he never
He's
did.
just like, God damn it! I spent all this time drawing this painting and he's not even here.
Maybe Kakyoin was just following him around all day with like a canvas.
like, can you stop moving? Thank you. Just sets up shop right there.
Oh my god! I can only imagine what would happen if he like missed when he did that final like red paintbrush stroke. Like, what if he what if he sliced thin air? And would he just tell us that? Okay, I fucked up. Can you just like cut the air beside him, please?
Like, God. Oh. It's funny because we never see him paint again. In my mind, I was thinking to myself, like, throughout the journey, he'd paint more, like, on his off time, but I'm thinking, oh, I guess we don't.
Nah. Apparently, painting is a passion only shared by Dio's flesh blood. Ugh.
Blood. Deals
So-
blood.
So it's like
I can't speak.
So we have,
English,
like-
guys, don't hate me.
we call him Leonardo da Vinci, or would it be
What the
Leonardo, or would it be Leonardo Dio Vinci?
We're
Stop, man. This is
Get
too
outta
dank
here.
for me.
Do you
Yeah.
think?
Get
Oh,
out.
sorry. So we're talking about stands. what are your guys' favorite stands or even fights involving stands? Faux, do you want to start off on this, or do you have an idea?
These.
Oh, I have mine. I have mine. If it's okay.
No, it's not okay.
Okay, go
Nice.
ahead. Oh,
Okay, so for me, my favorite stand was I'll just do my favorite fight. My favorite fight was Darby the Gambler.
Definitely, I love Darby.
Yes, because the thing was, I thought to myself, man, this can be an epic part because we're in Egypt. There's gonna be a lot of more violence and fighting, but this wasn't even a physical fight, and so that's what this thing had my heart jumping. I was like standing up while watching, sitting down, like there's no way, because I lost my shit because like spoilers coming up when Joseph.
It's fine.
With Joseph, when he decided to take over, he's like, all right, I think I can outdo this guy. And I'm just like, okay, dude, you're not going to out-cunning Joseph. Like, he's the king in this. Okay, we know what he does. But when Darby trumped him with that whole coin game thing, that blew my mind. I thought it was over. I legit thought, dude, if you trump Joseph, if you could outsmart that man right there, it's over. Jotaro, like, I didn't believe in Jotaro. I was like, you're not going to do it. You're not going to outsmart the old man. But Jotaro just kept raising. Like, oh my god. In my mind, I was thinking to myself, he doesn't have anything. And then when he kept raising, I'm like, I think he has something.
He bluffs so hard. I love it. That's one of those things, like, there's a few things that Jotaro does throughout the series that is really fun to, like, just casually mention. Like, it's always like, hey guys, remember that time that Jotaro bluffed so hard his opponent aged 30 years?
oh my god.
Or, hey guys, remember that time that Jotaro threw a dog at a blind man? Good times.
Wait, I don't remember that. Wait, I actually don't.
You don't remember throwing
That was in the
dog at a blind man?
in duel fight, the first fight from the second season
Oh my goodness! Wow.
of part 3.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. What the?
Where he throws Iggy at Induel, and Induel gets distracted, and so like tries to like dodge Iggy, and then he's like, "Oh, where did Jotaro go?" And the camera zooms out, and Jotaro standing directly behind him.
Good strategy, Joe.
But yeah, that Darby fight, I love that fight so much.
Yeah,
because it's like
it was like
he's like the most dangerous stand user they face, and he doesn't even like make a fist.
Oh yeah, and the thing with that is like, I feel bad that I didn't believe in Jotaro, but it was kind of like I was starting to agree exactly what Darby was thinking. Because I knew Darby had him beat. He's like, oh, I have this full house. I have my secondhand dealer. This entire restaurant is against you. I know you don't have anything. Bets more. I know you don't have anything. Wait, did Star Platinum switch cards?
Balls.
And I'm all agreeing with them like, did Star Platinum switch cards? No. And it was just that Darby's entire thought process became my thought process, where I was kind of thinking to myself, like, you've lost. Or like, I can't do it. I can't do it. And I felt my heart was probably racing as much as Darby's at the end of that, like just breathing hard, like, he just couldn't call it. He couldn't. And so,
Right.
To be fair, with Jotaro's full power, he could easily switch cards.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Like, yeah, he grabs his finger, man, and breaks it mid shuffle. Like, that's cool.
That's pretty.
It's
mean.
always-
The man was cheating.
that
Still
that
mean.
Darby fight's always fun to think about how, like if you actually think about it, the second episode was half an hour, and it was 2 hands of poker in half an hour.
Those are long
Jeez.
hands, man. That's like actual real time poker on TV.
But yeah, that bluff was pretty amazing.
Yeah, so that was my favorite. Out of
And
all fights.
a small, slightly off topic thing. That fight is the sole reason that I went and watched Kaiji, the anime Kaiji.
You told me about
Because
that. Yeah, it's about
I loved that Darby fight so much, and someone in the thread on Reddit said, "Hey, if you liked this fight against Darby, go watch Kaiji, which is 40 or 52 episodes of like the same thing."
Yes.
Did you enjoy the Zawazawas?
Koyoshi!
They were alright. I never got to Kuyashi. I haven't watched the second season yet.
Should.
But the Zawazawas were pretty on point. So, Faux, you ready for Favorite fight?
Oh, yeah.
Favorite stand?
Oh, my favorite fight, well, other than the Derby one, which you guys have already spoken about quite a bit, probably the fight with Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla.
Yep.
Or is that copyright infringement? Is he supposed to be Cool
we'll
Ice
call
or something?
Cool
In-
Ice.
On Crunchyroll, they called him Cool Ice.
Yeah.
And then in the games, they called him Iced.
Oh my god.
No, you
Yeah,
just got
that
pronounced
was-
Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice!
Vanilla Ice.
That was sort of like the first fight when it really felt like something was on the line.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I can see what you're saying there. Vanilla Ice is definitely... I mean, if you think about it, Vanilla Ice is like the most... He has the highest kill count of any of the enemies.
Does he though?
Yeah, he was actually
He kills
yeah,
Iggy, doesn't he?
He kills Abdul and Iggy.
Oh, he
Yep.
kills Abdul, that's right.
murders them, and those were the only two who died in the. Oh no, and Kakyoin dies, but that was to Dio.
Thanks.
So
Yeah, I
beat
mean,
Dio.
technically Joseph died to Dio, so
okay, that's two against two. We'll make a coin toss. We'll just say Vanilla Ice won it.
I
so
don't know,
Vanilla
but
Ice beat
killing a
Dio.
Joestar counts as like 2, though. Like, come on.
Yeah, but he
And
killed an
Dio
old man.
Killed 2 Joestars.
That's-
Yeah, so that's 4 technically. So Dio
So okay,
wins
so
this.
Dio definitely has the highest kill count, but Vanilla Ice is up there. He's
yeah.
definitely up there.
He was like just, all the other enemy stand users all were still, had, for the most part, still like, they were still humans and stuff like that, but this guy was just insane. Like, he
Yeah,
was just
like the
killing
other stand
machine.
users all had like
This guy showed
slight-
no mercy.
they all had like slight comedic sides to them. Some more than others, but they were all like kind of fun. But then just like Vanilla Ice is just like absolutely ruthless.
And
He's
his
cold
stand was
blooded.
horrifying.
Yeah, it is
Stands
horrifying.
absolutely horrifying.
With like
He
the
ate himself.
funniest name ever, though. Like Cream?
Cream.
Like, what? Is this a wood?
Vanilla Ice. Vanilla Ice Cream.
You haven't had Vanilla Ice with cream?
I thought at first, before you said the whole Vanilla Ice Cream joke a long time ago when I was watching that, I thought it was a Wu-Tang reference, for those of you who like Wu-Tang
No.
out there. Okay.
It's a reference to the band Cream.
Oh.
Actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just like you could assume every name is a reference to a band or something like that.
Exactly.
Because Araki loved his
Loves his Western music.
Western
I
music.
hope he listens
See
to
the-
Wu-Tang.
Actually,
Probably
there's
did.
there is a Wu-Tang in part 3.
Really?
It's Forever. Wu-Tang Forever. It's the orangutan.
Oh,
Really?
Yep.
Yeah,
It was named. It was just named Forever in the manga,
Yeah.
and then a few years after the manga ended, Araki put out one of the. There's like some JoJo books that give like extra information,
Right.
and it says that it was named after Wu-Tang Forever.
Oh,
I
yes.
get it.
I
Wu-Tang, orangutan.
oh.
Oh, I didn't even make that connection. That's
oh
genius.
my god.
Okay.
So there you go,
Great.
Bacon. There's your Wu-Tang.
Yes, Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. Okay, let's move on. Move on.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so I guess it's my turn now. Favorite. Okay, so the Darby, the player, hasn't been mentioned, but I figure it's kind of the same concept as Darby, his other
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna avoid mentioning that. I think my next favorite, though, because I honestly prefer Darby's the gaming one,
Interesting.
but my next favorite after that would have to be Toth.
Oingo Boingo
the
Brothers.
comic book.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Oh my god, that was like
Fucking
the
love the Oingo
greatest
Boingo
Giving me
man.
freaking
Like
nightmares.
the book is just so like it's so abstract, but it's so stupid at the same time. Like the kids laugh too. He's just like
Dude, that's so weird.
nah, man, it's the
Like,
best.
you do this,
Oh
and then
my
that, and then
God.
you kill them. Yahoo! I'm just like, oh god, this is like the most demonic book ever.
Yo, it's a picture
First-
book, man. How horrible.
First,
It's a
you stick your
manga.
fi-
It's a manga. Get it right.
Yeah, get it right.
I don't know why this Egyptian kid has a manga, but he does.
Well, I noticed something watching it. I watched the first episode of the Hol Horse Boingo combination.
Oh yeah.
I rewatched it this morning. I actually noticed that it reads from left to right, so it's not even a manga.
It's a comic.
Oh, ha!
It's just a comic.
Ha!
Fuck you, anime mod. Can't even telling me to call it a mango.
To be honest,
Fucking
that was probably one of my least favorite fights in part 2.
Really?
Yeah, I really
probably
didn't
just
like
weren't
it.
into it
It was
enough.
really irritating.
Personally, I'm not a fan of Hol Horse. Like that's just me.
Oh, you're not a fan of Complete Equine?
No, it's just every time I saw Hol Horse, the first thing that came in my mind was, God, fucking Hol Horse. Like, God, really?
I liked Hol Horse a lot.
Hey man, he's a lovable douchebag. Just
I think so.
I'll give him this. Yeah.
I really like the stands that are gun based. There's not a lot of them in the series. There's only one in part 3, but my favorite from a future part is also related to guns. So I just happen to like the gun stands a lot.
I wish there were more gun stands,
yeah.
so I can't wait that there might be more.
nah, no. If he does too many gun stands, it kind of gets
There's very
boring.
few, but they're all good.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure there's a bunch of sword type of stands, so that might be annoying. Or like, there's a lot of fist fighting ones.
Yeah, but I mean that kind of goes back to people punching people are cool. It's cool.
Yeah. Hippo.
Ah,
The
I prefer stabbing.
Ow, whoa, crazy, creepy. The one thing with Hol Horse that I did like about him though, he had the balls to kill Dio.
Well, almost.
to try.
Yeah, because in his mind he's like, I'm gonna blow his brains out, and I knew he wasn't gonna do it, but with all these like servants of Dio just like loving him and just like devoting their lives to him, seeing one of them even try to turn on him was fascinating to me. Like, okay, there's at least one person that kind of gets it, because everyone else is like, Lord Dio, oh yeah, just like serving the crap out of him, and it's just, I wanted to see someone like fight back against him just once, even though that was hardly a fight.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I guess I'll go. My favorite fight was, it was Darby the Gambler.
Yeah.
But I had a weird thing where I don't care about Osiris at all, which is Darby's stand. Like for most fights, it's definitely all about the enemy stand and less about the enemy stand user. But I feel like the Darby fights, both the gambler and the player, do a cool thing where they swap that, where the fight is all about the user, and the user outsmarting the Crusaders rather than being about the actual stand itself.
Yeah.
But I think my actual favorite stand in the series, or in part 3, for some reason I really like Dark Blue Moon as a stand.
Oh, which stand was that again?
Dark Blue Moon is from really early on in part 3. It's like a fish.
Oh, that's right.
On the boat.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, and they fight on the boat, and Jotaro uses the cigarette trick, where he says that enemy stand users, they have a vein pop out when they inhale smoke, and he got the stand user to like put his hand up to his nose to look for it, and they're like, "Gotcha! Yeah, I know you, now we know you're the stand user."
Oh, okay. I was sort of half expecting you to say he put 5 cigarettes in his mouth and beat the enemy stand.
That's Oingo.
About that.
I mean, it's Jotaro's trick.
Okay.
It's Jotaro's cigarette trick.
Can I mention
I don't
something
think
real
it
quick? Like, with that whole thing with Boingo doing all those like tricks. So are we on the assumption that Jotaro could really do those? Because Polnareff and Joseph were like, "Hey, do that thing you do." That's like a normal thing. Like, I can't picture Jotaro just like, "Oh yeah, 5 cigarettes, let's go." Just
See, I
You
feel
know, it would
like
have
at
been
that
funny
point,
if it was a bluff all along and Jotaro couldn't actually do that.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that because they were kind of suspicious a little bit. I feel like they were just doing that just to fuck with him. Like,
damn it.
they're like, there's a slight chance this isn't Jotaro. Let's fuck with him.
Yeah.
Yet they fell for it right away when he's like, "Yada yada, that's it." Just like, "Oh yeah, that's it."
And they're like, oh yeah, okay, yeah.
He
totally
does
Jotaro.
say that. So there you go.
Let's be real. If Jotaro couldn't actually do that, his response would have been just like "fuck off" or something.
Like I ain't doing that.
What a
He
loser.
just pulls out his stand and just starts punching him. Like, I'm not gonna.
Instead,
Do
he
that.
gets Instead, he gets really
Man, that's
nervous
not how
and
you
puts
solve your
5 cigarettes in
problems.
his mouth.
That's a cool trick, by the way. If anyone that could do that.
People can't do it.
That's
I was talking to people in my rewatch thread, and someone said that they knew someone who could do it with 1 cigarette, not 5, but they could do it with 1 cigarette, and then actually drink juice without putting out the cigarette.
Wow. Good on him. Good job.
that's crazy, but that also sounds like it's very hazardous to your
I don't
health.
know how you discover that you have this ability.
Maybe that was his stand. Who knows? Because you're
I don't
bored
know
with it.
I don't know who would ever try in the first place. But I mean, people do some
Hey,
dumb
man.
things sometimes.
People have done worse. Like, just look at Jackass.
I love that show.
If you want to look at worse, you look at the Dudesons.
I love that show. I have their DVDs, man.
I don't. No,
God. I would cringe from just seeing
And Team
that.
Sanchez. If anyone's seen that.
Guys, okay, let's stop talking about like the 3D
Oh,
shows,
sorry.
guys.
yeah. This is
Just out of curiosity, before you guys watched JoJo, what did you guys think it was about?
Oh,
I'll start with this because my answer is really, really short. I had absolutely no idea what JoJo was. I knew that it had some really buff dudes, and like I mentioned with the Dio meme, I thought it took place in hell because the sky's all red and it looks like the tree's on fire in the meme picture. I was like, so he goes to hell, he fights Dio. I have no idea. That's all I know, and that there's grenades. And so I watched the show, and so I just watched it. And I basically went in like completely blind, and it was amazing.
for me, I think I knew about the memes with the posing and the fact they were all like crazy buff muscle men, and I was just kind of, I just didn't assume that they were all gay because that's not something you assume.
Oh no.
I just went ahead and was like, okay, so I guess there's gonna be some posing, and I was right. First thing that happened as soon as I started the first episode, pose. It's just the iconic poses from the thing, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh no! The OP, the OP starts
With all this.
with just iconic poses from each
yeah.
part. Yeah, I've read up to part 6 though, so I gotta see every single one of those poses.
Did you read up to
in the
part
manga.
6, or did you read to part 6 but skip
I read part
half
6.
the parts in between?
You may have skipped the part because you're a loser.
Wait, you skipped the part?
Man,
Losers skip parts.
It's not even like the most important part of TV. It's just
It's not.
That's
but you
that's
still
sad,
skip
man.
Isn't it like the fan favorite in Japan, by the way?
Japan.
This
Japan
is
loves
part 5, just for anyone wondering.
Yes, Japan loves 3 and 5 the most. I think.
yeah.
That's what I
but,
hear a lot.
Like that's not. It's fine. I'll see it when the anime adaptation comes out. Don't
Oh,
worry.
that's so mean.
And they don't care for 4 too much, but that's getting an anime, and it's Araki's favorite part.
Yeah, we all do what Araki wants, okay? That's just how it works here.
Araki-sama.
Yeah.
We don't follow Araki-sama's lead.
Glory be unto him.
If he wants us to like part 4, then we'll like part 4.
I already like
I
it
mean-
just by looking at the previews, just throwing it out there.
Araki is a vampire himself, so he's probably going to live forever and just force everyone to do his bidding.
I'm okay with this.
So
Maybe JoJo is just preparing us for when we inevitably have to fight Araki.
What if JoJo is Araki telling his life story?
Like he's like JoJo number like 25, and the generations are
like-
still going.
The generation never moves, it's all just Araki.
But he just put in new JoJos to throw people off. But it's actually him doing everything. Like he's Jonathan and Joseph and Jotaro. He fights vampire. That doesn't make any sense though, because otherwise, how would Dio have taken his body and then he kills Dio?
See, you just blew up your own like theory right there. So like you just
Maybe he's Dio.
Actually, I'll go ahead and take a part 5 meme from to answer this. It just works.
really.
I could believe it.
Dude, man, why are you laughing? You haven't even read part 5.
Oh, mic drop.
Yo,
Oh.
man, fuck off. I read parts of it, okay? I read parts of part 5. The good
You
parts.
just
at
saw
least.
an album of memes. It's like, okay, I got this. I've read part 5.
It just works. This is the taste of a liar. That's bullshit, but I believe it. Yeah, I think I got on the memes actually. Yeah, I think you're good.
Yeah, if I repeat these over and over again, people will know that I read like part 5. So yeah.
Guys, okay, we need to get off the subject. This is too much.
Subject of
bashing
JoJo?
for one
No, we
night.
can keep talking about JoJo. What are you talking about, man?
So,
Okay.
why do you guys think? Why do you think JoJo got to be so popular? Because it's kind of like, I mean, let's be honest, it's a weird show.
It kind
Yeah, but it's amazing.
Man.
But like,
So
why do you think it's amazing, or why do you think other people think it's amazing?
Well, I mean, it just takes one person to show to his friends, to all his friends, and then all his friends would show it to all their friends, and eventually everyone will have seen JoJo.
I agree with that a lot because it took me a while to convince one of my brothers to watch JoJo because he was like, watching like One Punch Man and all these other like, pretty like awesome anime series that everyone knows about.
Pretty casual.
I'm trying to convert him.
Casual shows can be awesome though.
Yeah. And so when I told him about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, he said, explain it to me. And I said, okay. I did Smurf's explanation. It's about vampires, Nazis, immortals, pillar men, and
Ghosts.
and ghosts and stands. And he says, my brother's like, what the hell? 5 episodes in the next day, he's like, dude, Dio's a dick. I love this show. I'm like, there you go.
It took him 5 whole episodes to figure that out.
Well, I hadn't seen him during that time. Like the first thing he says to me, he comes up to me and just says, "Hey, I've been watching JoJo." Dio's a dick. But all my other friends that have watched
That's pretty
it
much everyone.
past part 1 and part 2, they all love it. So it's something like JoJo. You can't explain why it's great because it is. You got to witness it yourself.
I mean, it really is
I
true.
get
Like it's one of those shows that you can't explain to people. I've had that happen a lot, like on Reddit. Like people ask for a recommendation. I'll look at their list. I'll see that they really liked Attack on Titan, Full Metal Alchemist, Hunter x Hunter, and I'll go, these guys would like JoJo. Yeah, I'm like, hey, go watch JoJo. And they go, oh, I've heard about that. What's it about?
Oh,
and I go,
jeez.
I have no idea how to tell you what it's about, actually. Like,
I think
so
you just
many
got to be in the
things-
mood for it.
There are so many things in JoJo, I can't tell you what it's about. I can't even tell you I can't even tell you who the main character is.
It's Polnareff, right?
Yeah.
It knows
yeah.
the toilets.
Yeah, I kind of figured as much.
I think
But you
just
can't say
the
that, 'cause that's a
explanation.
spoiler, so I can't tell him that.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I
true.
think just like manly men doing manly things is enough of an explanation.
They don't.
I guess
they don't
so.
do too many manly things, but it's just they're just.
Oh, I
all-
thought. I'm sorry. Is fighting a 100-year-old immortal vampire not a manly thing?
No, that's more of a bizarre
Nah.
thing. I don't know many manly men. They're just like, oh yeah, I defeated a vampire today. It's just.
Just gonna go to
What
Cairo
about
and
a-
done a
What
fight,
about
fight
a
a vampire, fight a
10,000-year-old
falcon.
vampire? What about 3 10,000-year-old vampires?
You know what? How about
Well,
how
actually,
about manly men
Cars-
that just like to stand?
Cars is actually quite a bit older than that.
Is it millions of years?
Isn't he like 10,000?
Well, okay, so like the youngest is Wamu. No,
Wamu.
the youngest is ACDC. I think. No, it's Wamu. Wamu's the youngest. He's 8,000. ACDC is 12,000 or 20,000. One of the two. Cars is
I thought
102,000.
Whoa!
I thought they slumbered for 10,000 years though.
About.
Yeah.
They woke up a few times during that, but
They're still frozen. They just wake up. Are we out yet? Okay, back to sleep.
Is JoJo coming along yet? Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
the
back to sleep,
Pillar
guys.
Man had an actually pretty genius plan where, hey, we need to get this one particular stone to make us immortal. We don't know where it is. Let's sleep for a while. Let's wait for some moron to find it for us, murder them, and take it.
It's foolproof. We just have to wait a long
know.
time.
I mean, it sounds like a pretty great strategy to me. Let's let someone else do the hard work, kill them, and take it for ourselves.
Yeah, while you just
Yeah,
sit
they're
there
just sleeping
sleeping
the
all
entire time.
Yeah.
Sounds like a thing supervillains do.
That is a thing, supervillains. I mean, I've seen, like, Indiana Jones. They do that. They're not supervillains in Indiana
true.
Jones, but, like, they make Indy do all the work for them.
And it makes sense too because Cars is such a villain. Period.
Yeah, although he's the only villain that doesn't kill dogs.
Oh yeah, yeah.
True.
Like, everyone kills dogs, and then Cars saved a dog.
I was kind of bothered that they never really explained too much about like cars and his relationship with nature, I guess. Because even before he becomes this ultimate life form, he's just kind of like he's very. I don't know. He's very protective.
He's very respectful.
Like, when he was falling down the ice chasm, he specifically avoided a flower.
Yeah.
On the ground. Mm-hmm. Like I was just like, wow, okay, that guy's nice. And when a drunk car was like, or drunk drivers were like almost about to run over a puppy, he fucking like fucked them up.
Yeah, he cut his arms off.
Just absolutely wrecked them.
That was great. We needed to recover from what Dio did. Like when I first saw that.
Cars is very respectful of things that aren't a threat.
So he's very respectful of me if I were to meet him, because I'm absolutely not a threat to him. Look at me.
I don't know, but it seems like the second you present a threat to him, you're an enemy.
Well, would stepping on a flower be presenting a threat to cars?
I think so.
No, but the flower, he doesn't want to kill something that's innocent and not bothering him in any way. He didn't want to kill the flower.
Yeah, I know, but like, if someone else stepped on a flower, would they be an enemy of cars?
I see what you're saying. If someone else stepped on a flower, I don't know.
Like, did he have like a philosophy of like, I want to protect like the life forms?
He's
of
just
this
sort of
world?
like, I want to swim with the fishes, I want to fly with the birds.
Yeah, kind of like, don't disturb this world that I've been a part of for all these years. Like, is there something like that with him, or? Because he's still an ass of what he did during his fights. Like, I'm just... You bastard. How dare you betray us?
He has sick guitar skills, though.
Cars is an ass, we won't be hiring him again.
God damn it. Damn it. Really?
I'm sorry.
God.
I don't get it. Apparently that's funny.
Moving on.
Don't worry.
Don't worry.
I
got you.
Don't worry. Just
I got you.
memes not relevant to anything going on here.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So I guess we have one more topic we can cover. What did you guys think of the openings, or the ending songs?
I loved every single one of them.
That's the right answer.
Same.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
Same.
My favorite part about it is just how much stuff is hidden in them.
Oh yeah.
Like there are so many spoilers right up front in like all of them, and some of them like the second opening, Bloody Stream, is a little bit obvious with it.
Oh,
especially with Caesar's death.
About that, one of my close friends who finished part 2, he called it because he was very observant of the opening. Of course, like you said, part 2 is kind of obvious, but what kind of pushed it was a little messed up because it pushed it a little further. He's like, "Oh, why is Joseph wearing Kaiser's headband? Why is there bloody bubbles? Oh, geez, don't tell me." And so he was kind of like anticipating it. But the funniest thing was his quote with Kaiser was this: like, "I knew he was gonna die because if your weapon of choice is bubbles, yeah, you're gonna die." And I was like, "You're not wrong," because I felt like that too. I loved Kaiser, and I was like, "Bubble beam, man, like." Come on, man.
No, Caesar is basically the Squirtle.
I know. Like, you love him, but you're not strong enough. I'm sorry.
And also, if you're a Zeppeli, I mean, you're pretty much stuff. Like, like you've got Baron Zeppeli and Caesar Zeppeli. Like, Zeppelis just don't.
Why? Oh,
don't have a good life.
God, why?
Whatever happened to Caesar's family? Was he like the one looking after them? And then he goes ditching them.
No,
he wasn't.
Rocks. He became a delinquent and sort of abandoned.
Then he got into bubble blowing.
Didn't he become a delinquent for money there?
He became a delinquent because his father abandoned his family.
Yeah, but wasn't he still like the main person supporting said family?
I don't remember.
I think they went to an orphanage, or maybe they got adopted. Some of them got adopted. I don't know. They don't go into too much detail about it, even though they stress the importance of family. So he kind of just ignores the rest of his family in favor of his father.
I thought that was a cool conversation between Kaiser and Joseph, though, when they were talking about...
Can you stop fucking saying Kaiser?
Glory on to Kaiser.
Holy fucking
Glory on
shit.
to Kaiser. How dare you?
Oh my god, I'm legit triggered by this. I was gonna say something, but you just kept going
What?
and going
How am I
going.
How am I pronouncing it wrong?
Stop!
It's Caesar.
I
Like Julius
pronounce
Caesar.
it Kaiser.
To be
Why?
fair,
Where is the K sound?
there are a lot of people who pronounce it Kaiser.
Do you want to know why
what
I call it?
language
Do you really want to know why I call Kaiser?
No,
Yes, you
I
do
don't.
wanna
I
know.
want you
You
to
do wanna
pronounce it
know.
right. I just want you to
Yeah,
pronounce it right.
I'm pronouncing
man.
it right in the world of Fallout New Vegas. Glory be unto Kaiser.
I don't care about Fallout. New
How
Vegas.
dare
I care about
you? How
here
dare you
and now
not
and
care?
fucking even how they pronounce it and the fucking subs and dubs and you just go
To be
with
fair,
that.
Bacon, you're completely wrong here because written out in kanji, it's pronounced Shiza.
So see, we're all wrong. We're all wrong.
But you are
You're
more
more
wrong,
wrong.
so fuck off.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you. You're completely wrong.
Okay. I'll admit I'm wrong. Okay, but I stand by what I say. Glory be unto Kaiser.
Oh my god.
That's terrible, man. You need to get out of here. We're not letting this non-patriotism
Stop it.
pass.
Yeah, I was
Okay,
lucky enough
okay.
to not notice the Caesar's death in the opening. Actually, I figured it out while watching the opening for episode 20, which is the exact episode that Caesar dies in.
Oh,
I got
wow.
so close to
That
not
worked out.
figuring it out and being surprised. So close.
See, I was way too hyped during the openings to notice anything.
You were just dancing and just headbanging the whole
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, pretty
same.
much.
Didn't even see the screen.
Yep, same.
But
I
like
thought that
the
was
way
like a manly scream.
could be.
Like it was synced to the song too.
Yeah, it was. I really like
So I thought that was just like manly stuff.
But my favorite opening has to be my favorite song is the second one, but my favorite opening with visuals is the fourth one because of just how much stuff is hidden in there. Like you've got the JoJo finger twitch shit hidden in there.
It's also pretty hype.
You've got the staircase shifting out from underneath Polnareff. You've got Avdol pushing them out of the way. You have the alternate version that's like where Dio just shows up. So
Yeah, and doesn't the fourth one also have like the crazy like different versions
Yeah.
of the
Yeah, it
OP?
does.
Yeah,
Like, oh my god, I remember when that episode aired and the discussion thread was just like, look, watch the OP, and like I remember because I was really into JoJo and I was watching alongside everyone else as it aired, and I just remember seeing that part and I was just like, if it stops, and I was like, okay, wait, it's going, it's Dio, he's walking, he's doing a weird pose and he has green lipstick. Wait, what? I had to question my sexuality.
I'm kind of upset at myself. I actually missed it the first time I watched that episode because well, I kind of missed it. So the way I do things, I don't usually watch the opening. I listen to it, but while it's playing, I'm just like, while I'm singing along to it while it's playing, I have like Reddit open or whatever, or I'm eating breakfast or something because at the time it was airing before I went to work. So I would watch it while I was eating breakfast. And I was tabbed out. I was on Reddit. And I hear Dio shout out Zawaldo. And I hear all the music stop. And I was like, what the hell is happening? And I tab back over. And I just see Dio walking. I was like, what the hell is going on? I had to rewind. I'm like, I gotta see this from the beginning. I gotta see what the hell just happened.
Yeah. It was such a fantastic OP.
I'm really excited to see what they do for... I'm sure they'll do something different like that for part 4 as well, but I have no idea. Idea what it'll be.
You know what's the big question for part 4? What the ED is going to be?
by Smash Mouth.
I hope, dude, that would be the best shit ever. Oh my god, I'd watch the full ED every single episode, be singing along.
Wait,
right
are you?
there
Hold
with them.
on. Are you implying you're not going to listen to the full ED every time, regardless?
I don't know, man. Like, let's be honest. Smash Mouth is so much better than Walk Like an Egyptian. Or listening to All Star.
I completely disagree.
Man,
You are completely right.
dude, man. just why
so
I see him.
we were talking about the symbolism in this stuff. Did you guys notice the secrets hidden in the last ED in last training?
Oh, I did because I was spoiled, so I picked up on it pretty easily.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So,
I had someone link me to some stupid Dio announced the Steam sales video, so I wasn't even up to season 2 of part 3, and I already know like the big reveal.
right. Well,
Pretty
like I
funny.
liked how they had it so like Joseph has 3 train tickets in his hand for the 3 surviving members, and then at the very end it shows a river, and Jotaro, Joseph, and Polnareff are on one side, and Avdol, Iggy, and Kakyoin are on the other, so they're separated by who lived and who died.
Oh wow. That's
Pretty
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I guess we're at about time here. What about an hour?
We're at the hour mark.
We lost Bacon to an enemy stando.
Yeah.
So I guess that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you're watching this the day of release, I hope you guys enjoy part 4 tomorrow. Keep an eye out for that turtle. And if you're watching this after release, maybe you should go watch part 4 and then come back and listen to this, because part 4 is pretty great.
Yeah, it's aight.
It's my personal favorite part, so I'm pretty excited for this.
Maybe Smurf is actually
I hope there's
Araki.
Duang.
Maybe I am. Maybe
I hope there's Duang subs for
there's
part
got to
4.
be. Someone has to do Duang subs for it. Too bad Bacon's not here.
Yeah.
We can't explain to him what Duang is, but that's his loss.
Maybe we should explain the audience. I mean, there's going to be a lot of Duang memes.
Nah. They're gonna find out.
I can give a quick summary of what Duang is. Duang is, there was a Chinese, I think it was a small group of people, maybe it was one person, maybe it was 2. One or more Chinese people worked together or by themselves for like an English project. They took part 4. They used like Google Translate to translate it from Japanese to Chinese, and then they translated that from Chinese to English. So everything got lost in translation, and it was pretty bad. They used really bad editing software to put the subs in. They didn't fit at all. And it leads to a lot of hilarious quotes, like, "What a beautiful Duang. This feels like a picnic. Chew." And "I am the fucking strong. No, you are the super retard." Just all sorts of jokes and memes.
I think it's important to note it was the only available translation at the time.
It was the only available. Yes, you're right. It was the only available translation for a few years. So if anyone wanted to read part 4, they were stuck with this, and it didn't explain things very well. So
You know what the best part was?
Oh my god.
They failed that class.
they did fail the class. That's right.
Oh wow! I did. That's actually.
Yep.
Oh my
The
god.
Duang was Crush.
It was the Diamond is not Crash, or in this case,
But it was Crash.
English class is Crash.
Oh.
That's terrible.
Yep.
That was awful. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was.
So
Just fucking
I
stop
will
right now.
stop right now. So bye, guys. Hope you enjoyed this episode of
Yeah.
podcast where we talked about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And if you haven't seen JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, I'm sorry. We completely ruined everything for you.
Yeah, why the fuck are you watching this, though?
It's fine, TV.
Yeah, they probably don't
It's
care, and then
fine.
they're dead to me because they didn't care about the spoilers.
Yeah. Oh well.
So,
whatever.
okay. Bye, guys.
Okay. Bye.